That is the question. Those are MIP codes. The red ones are MIP codes. Anything that's red is a quality assurance code, one that might be tied to a cost. It might be tied to a performance measure. So anything that's in red is a MIPS code. The black ones don't have any qualifying circumstances that might end up needing to be audited later. It's just interesting. Isn't it interesting? Okay. So we're underneath our ER visits, and we're required, per the CPT code descriptor, that we have to have 3 key components to be able to bill one of these levels. And those components are history, exam, and medical decision making. So that's all I'm going to search this question for, is those 3 things. I'm not going to care who they are, why they're there, what route they took, none of that stuff. I'm going to be looking for the keywords history, exam, and MDM. So I'm going to scoot you down to our case. And like I said, we're not doing anything. I don't care about who they are. I'm looking for history. Is there any history listed? I see they're doing a review of systems. Sometimes while I'm doing review of systems, I like to check off body parts just in case. Shortness of breath and weakness in all systems and all other systems. So they went through there. Oops, I'm supposed to be drawing. Why are you not drawing? Yeah, there's one body system: eyes, neck, lungs, heart. So they're over the 2 to 5 area already. Abdomen was done, extremities, just in case they don't tell us how many. Ooh, they did an EKG. They did some lab work. And look at their diagnosis today. They're having a heart attack today. So what was their chief complaint today? They're coming in for vomiting and chest pain. Presents to the ER. So if they're in the ER and they are diagnosed with a heart attack, what level do you think we are going to be at for this patient? That's about as sick as you're going to get, and you circling the drain most definitely to me, right? Yep. You've got a lot going on there with that one. I would be happy with my 8.5 on that one. If we were diagnosing them with, the last sentence said their diagnosis today, was it acute? Has to be acute. Yep. Acute heart attack. Which diagnosis code would that be? Would be I21 or an I22? That's our first thing we need to worry about. What's our differences between I21 and your I22? My notes, Lord, for all this is so cool. I wish I'd have done this when I was taking the exam. So our 21 is the acute MI, and our 22 header, where are you, is under subsequent. So we're definitely going to stay in the 21s, right? So are we the 4 or the 9 for today's visit? Our 4, got to turn a page, is non-ST And then our 9 is unspecified. Well, I don't think they said anything about, well, we can go look at that EKG. What did the EKG say? It did say no ST elevation, but what did O4 say? Non-ST elevation. But it says no ST elevation. But the EKG said no ST elevation, so it's not going to be the 4. If they had yes to ST whatever, then that would have made it the 4. But it's just the 9, non-specific because of that. If the ST was elevated. Plus the doctor didn't say anything about ST evaluation. What they diagnosed him was just acute myocardial infarction, which is non-specific, which would have been the 9 code anyway. They would have said something about ST, EMI, STEMI changes if they were going to actually use the 4. Anyway. All right. Now it's asking us what else needs to go with these. And I bet it's that EKG, right? Let's go check out. Looks like I know our EKG start at the 9300s, right? Let's go see what we got under the 9300s. 93, is that the normal EKG one? 93, 00, 000. Be sure to look at the top of your CPT book because you've got a range of codes instead of looking through every single column on all the pages. So we need to know, was it done with an interpretation report or by themselves or not or what? What did it say? It said EKG. Who read the report? Interpreted by me, whoever's dictating this. That's important. For coding. Knowing who's going to interpret it. It's not going to be D, I don't think. $12 lead. Interpreted by me. Just says EKG 12. They consulted with another doctor about the case, but we're still only coding for the ED doctor. They did put the patient in observation, but out of the best answers that we have above, and the only answers that AAPC has given us, we're not coding for observation for some reason. We're only billing for the ER, which technically wouldn't happen if they were placed in observation. So what AAPC says for their cases and for any of their questions on the CPC exam is that you are picking the most correct answer out of what's given. So this drives me nuts. I hate that. You saw your old proctor? No, but there is no email. Usually they give you that email instructions on where to show up and who to show up from, but it may have come from AAPC instead of a proctor's email, but usually they had one down below. I'm still looking for the history, but I don't think it much matters. But I still think it's a high, an 05, an 85 for sure, because they come in for chest pain. Yep. You getting the whole runaround for sure. Oh, Mel, hang in there. Our next case is going to be an easier one. All right. Y'all's answers are the 85. We did have a comprehensive history. We had a comprehensive exam, and we had a high MDM because of the risk level for life-threatening illness. Definitely threw us up in there. They did an extended HPI, complete review of all systems, and a complete PFSH. And what that looks like when you're looking at a case is, of course, the review of systems was all done, and it said all systems. And then the pH is down here. Our systems, remember I was going through here doing the head, neck, eyes, and I got down to having more than 7, 7 to 8, you're up in the comprehensive area. 2 to 5, you're more moderate, and then 1 to 2 is your low. So we had counted up too many systems. And then just the risk level of having somebody having a heart attack in front of you is obviously your decision making for your high, for sure. Our diagnosis code was the 9, non-specific. If you do look in the index for your acute heart attack, it'll refer you to that code, which you don't have the opportunity to do because we don't index anything, because they already gave you the answer, so we just look at the codes and see what the differences are. The EKG that y'all are fumbling about, that one, EKG, 12 lead, that so what I've done here on mine is if it's a technical component from the place, it's the 05, but if it's the person who's reading it is going to get the bony brownie points for reading the EKG. We're not sending it out electronically and having some doctor off-site read the EKG. But if the doctor on site is going to read the EKG, I put PC. That's the one that you're going to do if the report was read by the ER doctor in person. He interpreted. He's alone responsible for its interpretation and reporting of whatever it says himself. Then we do our 10. So some EKG machines will spit out the results and interpretation for you too. And that can go along with the 000, but for that one, if it says me, I'm reading it, we're going to go with our 10. Interpreted by me. Put those AKA words right beside your 93010. Interpret by me. In quotes. That way, if you ever see it again, you know exactly which one to pick. $121.9 was on your exam C. That's awesome. I've got that in my E&M notes. If you've got the E&M notes, the page-by-page E&M notes, actually. I got 2 versions of them. I think the page-by-page version is a little bit more like you can understand it, because at least it's written on every single page. So we're going to go to the front of your E&M section where your guidelines are at. And right here, it depends on your body area or your organ system. If it's one of those, then you're problem focused. If you've got 2 to 5, you're expanded problem focused, right? Depending on which body system or organ you worked on. If it's 6 to 7, you've got your detailed. Comprehensive is 8 and above. I knew we were over 8 for the comprehensive. So that's super handy dandy if you have that in your notes. Also, I've got the differences between the brief HPI, the no review of systems, a brief with 1 to 3 HP or 1 RO or PFSH. If you have 2 to 9 on either one of those, I've got those down, and then what it means to have 4 or 10 review of systems or 2 to 3 new diseases brought up too. That's going to come up on our next exam about what if you get a brand new condition that you've never seen before in today's visit that is something totally new. You get brownie points for having a new condition. So anyway, those are cool. Those are cool notes right there to help you with these types of cases. All right, let's check out this one. So, no, I don't want to end the live right now. All right, our next case, don't forget not to read the case. Don't go to the case. You go straight to the answers. Let's see what they're asking us. Again, are we doing the ER? 81? Do they start with that? 81, 992? 81? Let me get there. Yep, they're all ER visits. So we're still down in the ER again, and then we're doing a diagnosis. They got one oddball, and then the rest are musculoskeletal or something like that. So that's interesting. And an additional diagnosis. Okay. So what do I need here? I need a history, I need an exam, and I need an MDM to pick here first. So that's all I'm going to look for first. In our case, we've got how many systems got reviewed? 1, 2. Our PFH has got 1, 2, 3. We've got abdomen, cervix, uterus, extremities. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 looked at. We got medication. The medical decision making was just Tylenol over the counter. They did a fetal heart rate, and they did moderate presentation, absent. Discharged her home, keep clinic appointment in the next 2 days. So not too bad, but we do have, how many systems? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 done. Our 4 goes with how many things reviewed? 2 to 5 body areas, which is expanded problem focused, which would be like an 82, right? Maybe 81, 82, somewhere around in there, depending on the risk. Now, I know our first diagnosis code. I mean, yeah, everybody ought to be able to pick that sucker out. What are we going to diagnose them with? Pregnancy, right? Our second and third diagnosis will be the different one. I know it won't be the OB code. I know it'll be one of these. I doubt it'll be a non-specific one, so it's probably a difference between the 40 and the 50. What'd they give her a diagnosis of? See how I skipped the question? Don't read a lot of it. They didn't say there. What did they say? What was wrong with her? Low back pain. Radiating from her leg for 3 days. Thanks for the help, dude. All right, what's our difference between the 40 and the 50? A, B, C, D, E, F. You know, they have rulers with the alphabet on them, too. So if you don't want to sing the alphabet the whole time you're at your exam, you can take it, a ruler that has the alphabet on it. But I just sing mine out. I don't care. I'm still doing it that way. 54. 50 is low back pain unspecified. Our 40 is lumbago with sciatica unspecified. Are we giving her sciatica? Rule out sciatica. Intrauterine pregnancy, 29 weeks. Butter Pecan says she hopes Mel is feeling better. MK said I-21.9 was on her exam C. She got it wrong. I didn't read what I wrote. Note 93.010. I bought E&M too, but I need to fix it. Hit in the back of the head on the bathroom floor. Ouch, Mel. The page that those systems are on is page 11. So if you got my E&M notes, I've got them written on those pages. You might have thought it was just useless because I tend to write too much stuff, but that's super important to write down what's on page 11. Thank you, Chloe. Let me let my cat out. She's knocking stuff off because I won't pay attention to her. Come on, girl. Let's go. There you go. James. I was just wondering why all the lights on. Y'all got the door shut, fans on, so the air conditioners don't have to work so hard. I'm still trying to limp along this air conditioner so I don't have to pay 10 grand for it to be replaced. And they keep turning off all the ceiling fans. Oh, what does this say? Okay, hi Jen. Hey Crystal. Review and refresh for the IP E&M. Could you review and refresh inpatient E&M? ER, musculoskeletal, both initial and subsequent days. Love this. YBG says. For Med Coding Pro, awesome. OB, she's 30.5 weeks. 4, MD low, moderate. 5 more minutes. Twinkle says expanded. C, moderate. A 99284, I think. That is way too high for this one. A pregnancy patient with back pain, and he gave her Tylenol over the counter or whatever. That's pretty minimal. Pretty minimal. Baby sitting right on that nerve. That's right. Get in that dog position and walk around on all fours to help that out. Probably has a pinched nerve. Yep, with the leg pain. I read the pain going down. My brain says he has sciatica and found this word at the end. Feel better soon, go-kart says for Mel. Before I was short of time on the exam. Now I have plenty of time. That's good. Get those ADA forms sent in so that you can get an extra hour. It's super handy dandy. Michelle said her daughter sat on it the whole time. Mine sat on my bladder the entire time. My bladder is like in a perfect position. when I'm not pregnant. But when I'm pregnant, baby's butt just sits right there on the bladder. Ooh, I'd, go potty and then just walk from the potty to the car and have to get up and go again. You can go anywhere because I had to get back out of the car and go back in. Oh, gosh. All right. Other than that, I can hold it all day long. All right. So we are definitely in 82. When I added up all those body systems, remember we did, even if you just review of systems and you start counting, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, we got baby 3, right? It wasn't a lot. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 actual real things looked at. 4 things. You go to that piece of paper where I've got the 4. We've got the expanded problem focused, anywhere from 2 to 5. So we had 1 we could grow on with the medications, but just one body area gets you the 81. This would be the 82. This would be the 83. This would be the 84. And this would be the 85 is the comprehensive down here. So that is super handy, just starting to put some dashes down by what the physical exam was. Super handy dandy. So, yeah. And we remember on our page 17, that if you are giving patients just over-the-counter meds, that's very minimal risk, not a lot of risk. You've got a little bit increased risk because she's pregnant and you don't really want her taking a lot of meds, but 82 is perfect for this one. Yep. All right. We know, and it tells you right here, 2 to 7 body parts is a limited exam. Their numbers are a little different than mine. I've got 2 to 5. Is expanded problem focused. The MDM decision making is very low, not that big of a deal. Our diagnosis was definitely the OB code. That's what we're going to code them with first. And that was the only code in this bunch. Now for our sciatica, do we code it or do we not? Let's see. We did do our OB because our pregnancies, yep. And her back pain was due to the pregnancy. If she was just there for like a fractured ankle, we would do the ankle first, but her pregnancy was causing the pain. So that's why we did the pregnancy on this one. And we're going to do the 50. We are going to do the 50, which was, which one? The 5-4-50, which is just the low back pain. And we're not going to do the one with the sciatica, if you can believe it or not, because you cannot code a rule out code. You can in the ER, technically, but what AAPC wants is the answer of no rule outs. It says do not code the sciatica. The doctor wrote rule out. Technically in the ER, you're able to do that, really, in real life. But what AAPC wants is no ruling out codes. So remember that. And yep, the back pain was related to the pregnancy. Yep. Oh, I do twinkle. I forgot. Yes, I do have somebody that wants to tutor. JG. I wonder if she's on right now. I had a bunch of anatomy ones real quick. Let's, that's another case. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this case. But let's do these anatomy ones real quick, okay? Before we go, because I wanted to show y'all these. Don't forget about knowing what the prudential nerve is. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. It is number A. A is your answer for this one. I'm going to rapid fire so we can go. So if pregnancy, then sciatica. No, you would not bill sciatica at all, MK, because it said rule out sciatica. He didn't give her a diagnosis of sciatica. He said he was ruling it out, but he never did rule it out. He just sent her home with Tylenol. So we do not code rule out. We would only code low back pain. All right. Prudential nerve. Sense movement and sensations to your genital area. That was my very first question on my CPC exam when I took it. Be sure you know that one. I had a partial thickness wound. Which one of these is considered that? Is it damage? Damage? Oh, we got penetrating below the dermis. Penetrating below the dermis. Maybe unlimited or maybe limited. Those are the two differences in that one. And then we've got extending to the subcutaneous tissue, or we've got green stuff. Our answer again is A. It is limited. You're looking for the word limited when you see partial thickness wound. Look for limited. I know these are moving fast. I'll go over them again on Wednesday's live, maybe, or what day of the week is this? This is already Wednesday, so Friday's live. So tenotomy is performed. Where is that performed? Where? A again. We're on the foot because it was the abductor hilus. And fracture of the ACE. Where's the ACE? This is on exam C. Faux show. Are we skull, shoulder, pelvis, or leg? We are in the hip bone is where the ACE is at. So the exam answer is C, pelvis. Yes, that is on exam C. They love list, so complete the series. We're going to go nose, trachea, bronchi, then what? And then the AVI, whatever. What would go after the bronchi? Hey, Crystal. It is B. You got it right. Crystal, it is the bronchioles. Be sure you know that series of all 5 of those. And here's another series. Complete the series. If we go frontal lobe to peritoneal lobe to temporal lobe, what's our last one? Sanchez says middle lobe. Everybody changed. Yep, optical. Yes, yes. Very good, very good, very good, very good. And here's that other word that is on the C exam. What the heck? Is that part of the nervous, digestive, urinary, or cardiovascular? This one's on the C exam too. It does have nephritis in it, so look for your prefixes, suffixes, root words. Very helpful. Yes, we are definitely urinary. Good job. And that's it. That's all. I just wanted to go over there. I had one more case, but we'll do that on Friday. I hope this has been helpful. And I hope y'all know where to find everything now. And if y'all need me, just keep messaging me. Thank y'all so much. We ended up with how many? All almost 6,000 likes. Thank you guys, and 7 shares for tonight's live. We talked about COVID and everything. Oh, there's the adverse effects, poisoning, toxic effects, and underdosing. If you don't know which ones to code first in each one of those situations, be sure to write those down in your books. And I like to write mine down right at the beginning of the chapter 19, which is where the poisoning and stuff starts. I write all those guidelines up there. So they're part of my notes too if y'all need them. But I'm going to dash off here. I'm going to go see if I can't find JP, JG, JP, one of the two, and see if she's still wanting to do her tutoring tonight. And I know it's probably really late wherever she's at. I think she's in Florida. Good gracious. So thank y'all guys. I hate to rush off. I hope this was helpful. I'll see y'all in Discord. Y'all are so welcome. This was fun. I had 35 of you on the whole time. Sorry, Sanchez. You can watch the replay. Monday's live is now up on YouTube too, so it's there. I'm all caught up. You're very welcome, guys. I will see y'all again on Friday afternoon.